work, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, so in terms of obviously on a day-to-day basis, is most of your stuff sort of freelance or or so you have to make your own schedule and how do you go about that? Do you have like a daily routine type of thing?
Yeah, so I mean, interestingly, things like running kind of help carve out that routine for you, right? Because like you're needing to make sure you get your meals prepared because you need calories at the right time of day and stuff. But generally, normal work day for me, if I'm like on a live job or something, will be up at 7:30, overnight oats and a coffee in bed.
Nice.
And then if I'm running in the morning, I'll go for a run. If I'm running in the evening, I'll just crack straight on. But it depends. I mean, so many of the tasks I kind of do in directing are so manic and all over the place. About the only thing that looks the same consistently is treatment writing and deck writing, which is like, you know, putting together pitch docs, I guess would be how I'd explain it, for, you know, like pitch docs to convey the idea of the music video. And that is, I always do that in sections. I create a skeleton of a document in Adobe InDesign. So, you know, title page, intro segment, cinematography breakdown, art department breakdown, etc., etc. And then I'll start working in images to everything. And all of this is kind of like helping feed ideas as well, because you can get really inspired by some of the images you see and collect. And the last thing I do is actually start filling in text and writing what we're seeing and what the thing's about, because so much of your understanding about what it is you're going to go and do actually arises during the creation. You know, you have your initial kernel of an idea, and then kind of building out this portfolio of that idea kind of helps inform different bits and how you could get from X to Y to Z. And so I don't like using text too early because, you know, it's stays visceral. But that's just, you know, that's computer work, laptop work, and same with writing for narrative and fiction and stuff. A lot of that takes place on revision cards, then working into documents, into more detailed documents until you work into your script writing software. But I go on lots of walks during my days. I find that if you know, like, if the task is to come up with a good idea, then sitting still doesn't really help that. And so generally I'll you know, move around, keep things in the back of my mind or the side or the front. And things germinate over time. And yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, but I always have like a to-do list, you know, of the day. I don't necessarily structure things to like the hour or whatnot. But generally it's, emails and communication in the morning. And then around like 10:30, 11 is like getting on with the tasks at hand. And I guess one of the things I struggle with is maybe switching off and stopping working, because it can very easily just bleed into the evening, you know, TV on in the background, still working on the treatment or whatever. And sometimes that's not so healthy, and you need to have like a hard off switch. 6,
or like a point of like diminishing returns type of thing.
Yeah, definitely. But unfortunately, sometimes with like the music video industry, the turnaround for sending off treatments for briefs is just so...
You get like a day.
Yeah, literally insane. And I think, I don't know, something's got to change in that regard, because it's not an ethical way of working, you know, expecting all of these creatives who are not being paid to drop whatever's on their schedule to get a deck out for a musical release, which has probably been in the pipeline for much longer.
No, it definitely has. Yeah.
And equally, you know, the turnaround times for these projects are so mad, when in reality, like, sometimes things just sit waiting to be released once they're completed, and it's like, if you gave us more time, that would have been amazing. But I understand. Yeah, I don't know.